Almost all the cool guys.
Yeah, Dad's not here, so you don't get to see him have a stroke.
Like, he was fucking up the English language so hard, I was smelling burnt toast. I would almost take the 10 cent per hour increase as long as you kept me under the table. You can just tell the IRS that it runs itself. I have elves, man. They don't have social security numbers. I'm not paying them.
I mean, we gave you the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge.
Damn.
And
Wow.
on that note, let me make a note.
Reference joke later.
Yes, exactly. That'll go in the intro.
It's called a callback, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everybody. And welcome to this crispy episode of the Camcast.
That was fresh.
Thank you. I'll be here all night.
All right, calm down.
That was great.
Yes.
Yeah, this is either going to be brilliant or terrible. Anyway,
Or both at the same time.
I'm like most of these episodes, yeah. Anyway, I am Mike, dear leader, Doc Taste, cutter of pizza,
Yes.
owner of a tiny fridge, guy who's cautiously reminding everybody that they need to figure out how to work the 201 interchange.
It's not ever going to work out the way we want it to.
No.
It's not
Nope.
that hard, though.
Yeah, it really isn't.
I
but-
completely avoided it coming here.
Nice.
Attaboy.
Nice.
Anyway, I am joined, as always, by a table full of miscreants, roughnecks, children, guitarists, whatever.
I am all but a guitarist.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, to my right, Gavin Picar.
Hey.
And a boy.
Our excitable child.
Jesus, that was a bit too on the nose.
God damn it, Trent.
Next to him, wiping his mouth in disgust, Daddy Rads, professor of the ghetto arts.
Even.
All right.
No sound effect for him?
What are we going to... Daddy Rads usually is like police sirens because bad things happen in the basement.
That didn't work.
No.
I'm
No, it
not
didn't.
impressed.
Okay.
You're losing.
God, he has a soundboard
And doesn't know how to use it.
for reasons I'm still not... because he said he was going to be more discreet with it than Dave would be.
And so far I have been.
You've been something.
I call shenanigans.
Trent from Sandy, the shadowy billionaire, co-founder of this here website. Trent Bray.
Oh, boy.
You're fired.
I am fired.
I'm going to...
Yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Dave.
Okay, there you go.
Don't give that to me.
And joining us, for reasons I still can't quite understand, but he
Yeah.
said he wanted to.
We have a guest.
Yes.
Wait. He wanted to? We didn't drag him into this?
Yeah, there's a shocking amount of people who want to be on this, but
Wow.
I
trying to
find
get
that
them,
shocking.
as you should. As you should. Anyway, you know him because we take pictures of his bright orange E46 Turner-built race car. He is a handsome fella. He will teach you how to drive your car out at a NASA Utah event. It is the
Hey.
one and only Austin Kent.
What's up?
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where was the applause?
Yeah.
God,
That's something.
I told you I'm done with this.
there we go. Yes. You hear the canned applause that Trent is failing to give us, but then you also hear a live person. We got Zach in the basement.
Hey, Zach.
Hey,
Hey,
yes.
over there.
Yes, Zach is doing a thing that you will soon be able to pay for yourself if you want to, as soon as I get that Patreon page going.
Soon.
Attaboy.
You should just have him bring pizza.
I mean, no,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no.
It's not enough.
No, then I'm gonna have like 40 assholes showing up with pizza. Like
What's the problem with
Yeah,
that?
I'm okay
They're all-
with
Yeah.
this.
they're all gonna bring $5 Little Caesars hot and ready, and I'm going to be struggling to figure out how I'm paying for this goddamn podcast every month. No. All right, that is going to be a Patreon subscriber level. Yes, we will have a Patreon page, so you can just give us money.
Or if you'd like to just show up in the basement with $20 in your hand, we won't turn you away.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm pegging this thing. So just give me fair warning.
Speaking of which, Zach, where's our money?
Zach, no. Zach
wait.
gets it. He's fine. He's fine because you know what Zach's going to do. He's going to support our sponsor, Steady Broke Clothing. Yeah,
Hey.
God, yes.
Beautiful.
That was-
Head on over to steadybroke.com. They are steady.broke on all social medias. They got some good stuff going right now. They've
Yeah.
got the Broke State University T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, they've got, what do they call them, dad hats?
Yeah, they've got the dad hat.
Yeah.
Yep.
They got a
Super cool stuff.
snapback. They got a wonderful shirt that Dear Leader is wearing. Broke
Also
AF.
Gavin.
And Gavin.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Don't forget my boy.
Fuck you, Trent.
How dare you forget my
Man.
child?
We are setting a record
Are
today
we
for
are we
those.
going to make this a drinking game?
Hey, Gavin.
Uh-oh, something's going on. Anyway, while they're taking pictures of each other over there on that side of the table, go ahead and hit steadybroke.com, steady.broke on all social media, and make sure to like all their new products and all the awesome stuff that they're doing, because they support us somehow, some way. And we thank them for it.
Yeah, so go ahead and buy a bunch of cool stuff from them, and then before you check out, in the coupon code area, type in CamAuto15. It gets you 15% off your entire order.
Not bad.
Just because you're broke does not mean you can't live your dreams. Steady Broke Clothing.
Very good.
Did you hear that, Zach? I did. Good boy. Right now. All right. Anyway, on to some news.
Yes.
There was some racing over the weekend, and a very fun announcement from the Rennsport reunion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Did that turbo thing?
Yeah.
So should we just talk about the Russian Grand Prix
Let's
first?
just get that out of the way.
The Grand
first.
P?
The Grand Prix.
Yeah. So the race itself was fairly boring because Sochi is boring as shit with its 1.2 meters of elevation change.
Right.
It is a flat track and nothing really happens except when Daniel Kvyat is, rear-ending Sebastian Vettel several
Was this
times.
a surprise to anyone, though?
I mean, no, because we haven't.
You asked for this.
It'll be interesting next year when Kvyat's back. He's coming back for Toro Rosso,
Yeah.
baby. So
Something else interesting. The Red Bulls started from the back of the pack.
Yes, because they went back to the Spec B power units because Max Verstappen had a great rant about Renault and their power units and why he's so happy to be on the other one and why Renault is kind of weak because they can't take criticism. It's out there. You should go find it. It's hilarious. But anyway, yeah, so Danny Rick and Max Verstappen started from the back, and Max did what he always does when he starts at the back. He managed to pass damn near everybody.
Yeah, that was the most exciting part of the race for sure, because he was moving his way up. In like the first 5 laps, he was up to 11th, I think.
He was really dicing then.
Yeah, he was moving.
Yeah.
And what did he make it up to? 5th, 6th, something like that?
I thought it was 5th, yeah.
5th?
And fifth
Yeah.
and 8 laps, I think. 7
Something
or 8
like that,
laps.
yeah. He got up there real quick and just kind of stayed there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Verstappen made it to the top 5. He was 5th.
Well, he led the race for like 30 laps or something because he didn't
sick.
pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Right.
So, let's see. That was tremendously interesting. Both Toro Rossos retired because they both broke the exact same thing on the car and spun out in the exact same turn, just on different laps.
Yeah.
Lost the front brakes.
It was fun to just watch them come into the turn and then,
Yep. Spin that thing around.
Round they went.
go ass over tea kettle. Let's see.
For shame.
Ferrari actually got their pit strategy right, but it ended up being all for naught because, Mercedes did it better. And speaking of, so the big controversy, the thing that everybody's talking about, is Mercedes told Valtteri Bottas to let Lewis Hamilton by.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
really?
Yeah, because so here's what happened. Hamilton had a small blister on his right rear, so they said, exactly, Austin. Yes, hand job indeed. So, so they told Valtteri to let Hamilton by because Vettel was now a threat to Lewis Hamilton. And, and then the saddest thing happened. Valtteri responds on the radio, but I was going to go faster this next lap. We know, Valtteri, you need to let him by, though. Vettel is a
Yeah.
threat. Yeah, and so it just wound up with a very sad podium ceremony with...
Right, he just seemed so not interested and was turned away from Hamilton. And
Yeah,
yeah.
He got on the radio and asked for the position back, and they said, no.
Yeah, they said, no, Valtteri, we're not... It cannot be. So, yeah, it was just,
Yeah, they said, we'll talk about it later.
Well, yeah, Toto Wolff said, we're going to talk about this later. Oh, God. All the sad reacts.
Sad reacts only, please, and thanks.
He deserved it. He deserved the win.
Yeah, he earned it. So, but, oh well.
Wingman.
Yeah, I guess, or doormat as the case may be. So, real quick, to turn formerly evil Trent off of the podcast almost immediately, we're going to talk about NASCAR.
Hey!
It was a shit show this last time
Oh,
around.
he's going to tune in for Thursday. He's got a couple emails, so.
Yeah, I know. He would send me a message when he sent an email.
Oh, okay. All
So-
right. Just wanted to make sure.
Just to make
Yep.
sure that you know
Yeah, that he sent something.
that you have an email in your inbox just waiting.
Yeah. Well, I do kind of appreciate it because me and Trent have access to the mailbag inbox, and he always gets to it before I do. So I usually check it right before we're about to record, so it's always a surprise.
Nice.
Anyway, so it is the NASCAR Monster Energy race for the chase, for the cup, for the quest, for the thing. And for the first time ever...
Playoffs.
Yes. They have put a road course, or in this case, the Roval.
I love the name.
Because it's a half oval, half
Yeah.
road course.
Yep.
And say what you will, it looks... I would like to give that track a go. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it is 17 turns, 2.28 miles long, and on the back, so you go through the infield, and then you spit you out, and then you're on the bank turns, and you have to come down the back straight, and then there is a Daytona International Speedway style chicane on the back straight. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, whereas Daytona, they have nothing except dirt and air to encumber you if you go off track, they have, on the last turn, before you get back on the back straight, a Goodwood Revival-esque wall jutting damn near to the end, like right up to the track limit, which, if you watched any of the practice highlights, everybody hit it.
Everyone.
Everybody
Yeah.
hit it. Because, anyway. Yeah, but, I mean, surprisingly, it wasn't, a catastrophe. Like, it wasn't wrecks every lap, but,
There were some good wrecks, though.
oh, God, there was a great one. I can't remember who it was, but they just locked up and just plowed straight off a turn.
Yep.
Yeah, it was
Fuck.
No,
fuck,
no,
fuck,
no,
fuck,
no.
no.
safer barrier. Shit. But the big one was last turn, last lap. Jimmy Johnson is chasing down Martin Truex Jr. for the win. Johnson locks up. The back end starts coming around. He spins out. Truex gets through the turn, but because inertia is a property of matter, Jimmy Johnson continues through the turn, spinning out of control, and hits Martin Truex. They both spin out.
And Martin Truex narrowly missed that wreck just before that took out, 10 cars. So.
Yeah. So, and then young Ryan Blaney comes through to take the win from third place. And Jimmy Johnson has been eliminated from winning his 8th championship. Mm-hmm. And Martin Truex's championship hopes are shaky at best.
He's
After
going to
that,
have to have a couple of perfect runs.
Oh, he's
in order
got-
to be on it.
he needs a lot of help at this point if he wants to win. But, yeah, I mean, he's still in there where JJ ain't. So, anyway, there's that. There's your...
So back to Rennsport, though.
Yes, back to the Rennsport revival.
Giggity.
So, yes, so...
Gavin's excited.
Yes, so
Yeah.
awesome things are happening there. You can see a lot of classic cars out there running around Laguna Seca. But there was a big announcement from Stuttgart.
This is an old nameplate with new stuff.
Yeah, remember how Porsche built that new 993 out of old shit they had lying around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they took something new that they had lying around and built something old out of it. They are bringing back the 935.
Goddamn right they are.
And it is based on the current 911 GT2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the GT2 RS, no
Yes.
less. Yeah.
This thing
Well,
is
they don't make a GT2.
Yeah.
absolutely stunning.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Gavin.
it looks amazing, and it was out there with the Aero wheels and the Martini livery.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, straight out of the 70s.
Gorgeous car.
Yes, and so it is a foot longer than the car it is based on, but it is 200 pounds lighter. God. Yes.
Yeah.
I can imagine
have
there
you
is
heard
an-
the exhaust on it?
I have.
I have. All the turbo noises.
It's just all the whistle. There was
Yeah.
just it idling at Laguna Seca.
So it's just like the old
Yeah.
935.
So it's literally like
Yeah.
the old 935.
Yeah.
Just a lot of noise.
I mean, I want to see this thing done up in the old Jägermeister livery.
Oh, God,
Just
yes.
like the old Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Do you remember the guy that had the black 935
Yeah,
here?
there's a black one here, right?
Yeah. Well, so that car had a couple of Garrett's just hanging out the back, and
There
apparently it made close to 700.
There was a black one here, and there used to be years ago a red one.
Oh, really?
I recall the red one from long ago.
Yeah. I only know it belonged to somebody who worked for Smith's. I know that because I would always see it
Which is so bizarre.
Well, I mean, if you get up like if you're at a certain level within Smiths, you're
Was
you're
this
making
like
that
15, 20 years ago, probably?
kind of money. Yeah, probably.
That's when they were all uncool.
Yeah. So I mean, this
Yeah, that's
person-
when they were chump change.
Yeah,
person
exactly.
wanted a Porsche and got themselves an uncool car.
Somebody was like, "Hey, I think I'm going to grab this race car.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool."
But
Those
anyway,
were probably, like $30,000 at the time, probably?
Oh yeah, I bet.
35 maybe?
yeah.
Can you imagine?
So, dude,
If only I had $35,000 right out of high school.
that would be
I mean, that's what I would get, but...
that would be amazing and also horrifying.
Yes.
Oh my god, yes.
Also, yes.
Well, also
That's not the car for an 18-year-old.
no.
At all.
Well, also speaking of horrifying, the price tag for this bad boy.
Shoot.
They only gave it in euros, and it is 701,948.
Wait, I'm sorry, 701...
701,948.
948.
So the thing is, they did this very specifically too. They probably only cost them 300,000 euros, but it's in celebration of their 70th anniversary.
Okay.
Hence the 70, and
Jesus
then
Christ.
the 1948 is because the year that Porsche was founded. So 701,948.
So the price of the 918 when that came out was, what, $840
Something
or
like
so?
that.
This thing is
That was
$800.
dollars, though, right?
That was in dollars,
Yeah.
and this is $812.
Yeah.
812, 610, and 10 cents.
But they made 918 of those
They're only making-
918s. They're only making 77 of these.
Damn.
Yep.
Wasn't that a race number for those? 77? Didn't
Maybe.
have
There
a
might
race
have been.
number?
I don't know. Somebody will figure that
Is
one
there,
out.
is there
I
a 77 at the
don't
track?
know.
Like an old 930 turbo?
I can't
77 in red, possibly?
You know,
Am I
the-
making that up?
I don't
you
know.
probably are. I don't
Okay.
know. It's
Yep.
okay.
I mean,
I like this stat. I mean, there were full specs on the website, but
Yeah.
they happened to, for some reason, list the fact that it gets 19.9 miles to the gallon.
attaboy. There we go.
Which, I mean, if I were to beat the shit out of my Subaru, I'd get a little bit better than that. So, I mean, I
Same.
would happily trade for miles per gallon.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
far as that goes.
Uh-huh.
Well, so,
No, that is shitting yourself just terrifying per gallon.
Absolutely.
oh god. Well, so there is when this thing came out, it was in full livery. So instantly everybody's like, "Oh, well, there's the new hypercar rule set coming out for Le Mans. Is this what they could be trotting out?" Yeah, I mean,
One can only speculate.
yeah. I mean, listen. Back in the day, the old the old GT2 Porsches running around the GT2 class, those things were nothing really special. But if you got a place where they could really let those hairdryers spin,
Right.
yeah, they would fuck some shit up.
Indeed.
Yup.
Well, Porsche was also, they had something else at Laguna Seca
Oh.
this weekend. The 919 Evo.
Oh, yes.
They were,
right.
They were shooting for a sub 1 minute, from what I've been told.
Damn.
Jesus.
The
Okay.
last number I saw, I've been just following on social media. I wasn't following anything legit on websites. But the last number I saw was 108, I think,
Damn.
around Laguna Seca.
They
That's-
are killing it.
ripping.
Yeah, 108 is still insane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's practically an F1 car. I mean, well, it's beat F1 car times at Spa.
Yep.
They got like 0.7 seconds faster than Lewis Hamilton's pole position at Spa.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
And
Hey, another fun thought, too, with this is that this could be the modern resurrection of the Porsche slant nose.
I'm down.
yeah.
I'm so for that.
I mean, I'm in. Looking at the front end of this car, if they wanted to put a narrow body version of that as an option
Yeah.
on a GT3,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yes, please.
Which, by the way, we might be seeing the last of the NA GT3.
Right.
Yeah.
We talked about that a couple podcasts ago,
Yeah.
but I mean, it makes sense.
yeah.
It honestly does.
It's
as
it's
much as
the
I love
next
revving
step.
it out to $9,000.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure they're going to keep that.
Well, they'll be close to it. They'll be like 8,200.
Yeah,
or
okay,
8,400
see, we're
or
good.
something like
It'll
that.
We're
be
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9K is inevitable. I'm just saying, 9K is inevitable.
Send it.
Yep. Empty the outbox.
Indeed. Alrighty. Well, kids, now that we have run through all the racing news, it's time to tell you to head over to camautoswag.com and get yourself some sweet, sweet cam gear.
Exactly. You can get phone cases. Gavin and I both have cases.
I actually, I don't know if it was picked up on the mic, but I dropped mine earlier this episode. And, it still, it looks great.
Still
I drop
hanging on?
mine
It takes a
several
beating.
times a day, every day,
Yeah.
and it's still looking great.
Zach
I mean,
is nodding his head in agreement that you're dropping your phone constantly.
Yep. He does work for me, so
Yep.
he would know above anybody else.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, mine Mine's taken a tiny bit of wear on the logo, but it spends a lot of time in my pocket.
I mean, that's patina.
Or on the floor.
Yeah, there you go.
I agree. I like the fade.
Yeah, it's super 80s.
It's like
rad.
starting to fade into the white instead of the red on the logo.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm really digging it.
That's how we
need
do
to
it.
do that.
That was totally designed.
We could do that.
It's the weathered fade.
Yeah.
I'm in. Anywho, we've also got T-shirts, sweatshirts, I believe. It's starting to get cold.
Starting to get chilly.
And the best part about it is we're fat kid friendly.
Oh, yeah.
We go up to 3X in a lot of stuff, and all of our new stuff is 4X. That's thick with 4 Cs, guys.
Yeah. So there you go.
And speaking of fat kid friendly, I'm downing a piece of pizza over here in my
Attaboy.
black and white cam
Yes,
t-shirt.
you are. And, previously you've been wearing some protos of our fall collection.
Correct.
That
Yeah.
you're coming
Mike
out
and I
with.
will be working on tonight after this recording.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Get you some super dope, pastel-looking colors.
Get you some fun stuff.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and do that. CamAutoswag.com.
Yeah.
Get all the good stuff. Support us. Look cool while you're doing it.
Yeah.
And as always, you guys can get stickers from us, too. You got to get with us directly.
Yeah.
In order to get the stickers.
When we have them, that's the only way you're going to get them.
Oh, we're working on that, too.
Yep. Just hanging out on KSL a lot, calling out a lot of sketchy ads.
That's okay.
That's how we do it, baby.
That is okay.
Anyway.
I think I'm just going to buy a vinyl plotter at
I
this
think
point.
either that or...
Buy Stuckies.
I mean, if Stucky will sell me his vinyl plotter
I
for
think he will.
a decent
I
amount.
think he's mentioned it before.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to message Stucky in a
I know
moment.
I'm speaking on behalf of Stucky. But
That's okay.
still.
I'll talk
There
to
you
him.
go. Yeah. Keep putting... That's how we do it.
Anywho.
That's how we do it here in the media. We just put words in people's mouths.
Well, I mean, that's how we do.
Yep. Anyway, on to the actual news.
Hey, we got some good stuff on this.
Yeah, there's quite a bit.
So let's see. Should we start with Ford?
Yes, let's go ahead and start with Ford.
So Ford is in the business of spending money right now, but that's because people are buying their crappy SUVs.
Yep.
And you know what buying all these crappy SUVs gets Ford?
A $90 million abandoned train station in Detroit.
Yes.
Yes, that.
That's amazing.
Where everything else is in the $25 per square foot mark, they paid the better part of $150.
Ooh. Wow. Ooh, $150 a square foot. That is...
Yeah,
Damn.
I fail to see the business plan for this. Like they're making it mixed use space, and I understand that, but man, that's a lot of they way overpaid for that.
I wonder if this is them kind of flexing their clout, or if this is a long-term plan for them to, take over some of the more notable portions of Detroit.
I think it's probably because this is going to be their headquarters to their urban campus for autonomous and electric vehicles. So I think this is really kind of a...
Oh, it's one of those ones where, like those hip companies will buy an old building just to be fancy.
Why $90 million?
Because people keep buying the Escape. That's why.
I think it's one of those...
They probably could have been like, hey, we'll just take it off your hands and we'll fix it up.
I mean, the building has been abandoned for 30 years.
Right.
So, no.
Which means there's nobody you need to kick out. Everything's already gone.
Well, so here's what I think happened. Probably Ford was like, oh, well, we're thinking about this. And the city of Detroit's like, so you are. And they just start drawing zeros onto the price that they were willing to let this place go for.
I do suppose that, interest leads to profit margin.
Yeah.
Now they are petitioning Detroit for hundreds of millions of dollars of tax breaks for this.
Yeah, because that is how it works.
So that's how they're making their money back.
Yep. I mean, it's pretty much... It seems a lot like a stadium deal,
Yeah.
Which are just, with the exception of Seattle's, all of them are terrible, and you should not be a fan of them. Be a fan of the team. Don't be a fan of giving a huge, huge handout to already insanely wealthy people.
Go sports ball.
Damn right. Anyway, hey, speaking of things that are legitimately awesome, there was an awesome bus driver.
Yes.
He let 3 kids drive the bus short distances.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so part of me is very confused as to why somebody would do this, but the other part of me is definitely recalling back in the day when I had cool school bus drivers.
Yeah, wouldn't you think it would be so awesome to drive home from school and actually drive the bus?
That
you'd
big
be
yellow
like,
brick.
This is the coolest bus driver ever.
I mean, it would be great. But unfortunately...
I mean, it is definitely illegal on many levels. We get that.
Yes.
Illegal, dangerous, reckless.
Right.
And authorities in Indiana agree with you.
Of course it was Indiana.
A parent of a student studying at Boone Grove High School in Valparaiso reached out to a county sheriff's deputy alleging that the bus driver had let the kids drive the bus.
Narc!
Right?
Dude, this is the exact same situation as when, like, some dude, like, ends up banging his history teacher or something,
Dude,
right?
well,
and then somebody had to say something, and now somebody's out of a job, and somebody's getting all the high fives.
Well, I mean, this is essentially like... This was a slightly larger child letting slightly smaller children do something. You know?
Right.
It's like getting a horse to watch your dog. No, it was a 27-year-old bus driver letting high school students drive the bus.
Not just that. The ages were 11, 13, and 17.
13 back in God's
17
country.
17 is fine. 13 is...
13 back in God's country is a high schooler. So
okay, well, I mean...
I'm sorry, you said 11?
11, 13, and 17.
Wow! Okay.
But, I mean, still, like, it is... I mean,
we were all driving golf carts when we were,
I mean,
11.
at age 17, if you have a learner's permit, you can drive a Class A, like, pusher motorhome at 90 miles an hour in the carpool lane.
It's not
and they don't give a shit. But
It's not recommended.
Well,
But
no,
you can.
no, it's definitely not recommended, but it's by the letter of the law legal.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to know, though, and it doesn't say here in the article, is whether or not there were other children on the bus when this happened.
Yes, there were.
That's a problem then. If there was nobody else on the bus, I'd be a little bit more inclined to be like,
No, it's probably like a bus full of kids, and he was like, "Hey, Timmy, get
like,
your ass up here."
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, I'm going to make you look like an absolute badass. Come over here and pilot this bastard.
Well,
we got three blocks to go. I'm going to chug this.
While I pound down this high life.
Well, she was taken into custody after pulling the bus into the bus barn, a place.
My claims still stand.
Bus barn?
Yes.
That's what they call them.
Yep.
In Indiana.
Well, that's what they call them in most places.
Oh. Yeah.
The bus barn.
Yeah.
Well,
the corral.
I'm trying to make a Midwestern joke, okay? Come on.
The Midwest is a joke in and of itself. I don't think you need to add anything to it.
It's Indiana. It does it just fine and dandy on its own.
Now, this would not have surprised me in the slightest if it was in Gary, Indiana.
It wouldn't.
God.
I mean, there were probably been drive-bys from school buses
or like Evanston,
in Gary.
Or like, yeah.
Yeah.
This was the Porter Township.
Yeah.
Thermopolis, Wyoming? Say it ain't so.
Yeah.
I've been there.
So have I, unfortunately.
Hey, man, this is around Valparaiso, Indiana, home of Orville Redenbacher.
Ooh.
And nothing else notable.
Ever.
Yep.
At least Gary had Michael Jackson and James Dean.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
Anyway, she is being charged with neglect of a dependent, which is a level 6 felony.
Wow.
Damn.
Yep. I don't know if that is really strong or really weak. I don't know how the numbers work with felonies.
I think that's a little more than a slap on a wrist.
All right, then.
I would think.
The felony would imply that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the level 6, though, that I don't know what to do with that. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, so fun pedals may not be dead.
What?
I mean...
Maybe.
Sure.
So apparently, from talking to a Toyota engineer, they have developed a manual transmission for the new Supra.
/ BMW Z5.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, the new.
I doubt it would go in the Z5 though.
Now I wonder, is this Toyota specifically?
Yes.
Is this maybe ASIN?
It is. So we talked to the actual unit itself. I'm not sure. There's some speculation on that, but they have made it work with the vehicle. They've developed it. However, they have not certified it because they don't think there's enough demand for it. But they are willing to listen.
My God.
To customers if they are demanding strongly.
People,
is the quote.
Speak up. Bring back hashtag save the manuals. Let's bring this shit to light, man.
They did say it was developed for the right-hand drive market.
Oh, really?
So, I don't know if it would
People in Japan that are maybe listening, up your shit, make it a thing, hopefully it comes stateside.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have very high hopes.
I don't either.
I mean, part of me thinks that this may just be Toyota creating a bell housing and shift linkage for an existing ZF,
Possibly.
or even an existing ASIN box of some kind. But I mean,
It
this
would
car's
make
supposed
sense
to be
for
putting
them
out
to go
halfway decent
ZF,
power.
though, because it's with BMW anyway, and BMW's been using ZFs.
Right, but I mean, if BMW is not doing the R&D on this, yeah,
True.
then,
Yeah.
I mean, that opens up to just about any market.
Right.
Yeah.
And they, it was an interesting story. I don't know if we touched on it, but BMW and Toyota actually stopped talking to each other in 2014, I think it was, about the cars.
That's great.
They split their ways on the Z4 and the Supra,
that
and
makes
just
me-
went. Yeah, they basically said, "Here's the drivetrain. This is what you have to stick to. These are the dimensions you have to stick to. See ya."
Bye.
And they didn't talk to each other. Like, none of the Toyota people have driven the Z4. It's interesting.
You know, NASA did this once with a spacecraft,
Yeah.
and it blew up in the atmosphere.
Ah, yes.
Mm.
We all.
Just throwing that out there.
Yep. That was a thing that happened.
That was definitely a thing.
So
Well,
which one's going to blow up? The Supra
It's-
or the BMW?
It's going to have the Toyota badge, guaranteed.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, I have a feeling that
it's going to be the. It's
well,
going to be the one with-
BMW is not going to give us the man pedal at all.
No.
It's
And-
not going to be even a consideration.
Well,
No.
and I highly doubt that we will see a Supra with a manual anytime in the near future.
I
That
agree.
is, unless it's a very special edition,
Right.
But even then,
I mean, that would be a prime opportunity for them to bring back the RZ trim package.
that would be. But alas, I mean, if the demand is there, and we're talking about a company that is, essentially an accounting department that happens to make cars.
Right, hence the Prius.
Yep. So, I mean, we down here could be just banging on the table, demanding a manual transmission in that car. But I think with the exception of two of us, none of us are in a position to be able to plunk down that kind of money on a car.
True.
Agreed.
So, yep,
But I do know.
You're talking about Zach, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't pay him that much.
You don't know what he does when he's not at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, all right. Okay.
But you can buy a Corolla with 3 pedals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
Which
been seeing
is-
this?
It's amazing.
They're pushing this on social media.
Yeah.
There's this beautiful photo of this manual shift lever.
Although, and it is in one of the commercials.
Oh, is it?
Yes, and I have a real question about that particular commercial. It starts off with, these youths getting into a man. That,
I think just your body language when you
I
said the
can't-
youths.
I can't peg what the hell they're supposed to be. They're just like people, in the key demographic.
Is this
1835.
worse? Is this worse than the Chevy ads with just all the hipsters on the real people?
They're real people,
Those were
not
air
actors.
quotes.
They're real people, not actors, because they haven't actually booked a paying acting gig and can't join Screen Actors Guild. So technically, they're not real actors.
Damn.
That's
Walks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
it's seriously
But
that
it's labeled
is
as a goose.
yep.
It's a goddamn goose.
Walks like a
Goddamn
duck,
goose.
talks like a duck, but doesn't have its card yet. So
Yep.
But anyway, yeah. So they get in this car, and then at a gas station that looks like every abandoned gas station you've ever seen. Like last time it was used was during the
Nixon.
during the early Nixon administration. And then
Reaganomics took a major hit on this gas pump.
Yeah.
Reaganomics was the last nail in the coffin. But then
This one still has actual numbers on a dial.
Ooh.
That spins.
Wow.
wow, 85 cents. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, then they go to a club, and then next shot is them running down a rain-soaked alley being chased by dogs. And then one falls and breaks her arm, and then just the rest of the night just continues on from there like nothing happened. Her arm is in a cast.
What
I
does
have-
this have to do
Okay.
with the car?
I don't know, but I have done some seriously nefarious shit in major cities, and I have never run away from a goddamn dog.
You're doing it wrong.
I have run from cops,
Well,
angry
I mean,
business owners, concerned citizens, schizophrenic homeless people,
Yep.
but never a dog. So I'm trying to figure out who came up with that, and who let that make it to air.
Interesting, huh? And what was the car's involvement with the?
It was just getting them, I guess, from fun activity to the next.
Because the car's so fun.
Yeah.
It plays into their nefarious activities.
Sure. I mean, yeah, teal Corolla hatchback.
Damn.
I mean, I
So
think
it wasn't even red.
No.
I mean, it definitely could have sold more people if it was like e-brake sliding down,
Right?
streets in abandoned
Well, have you
Detroit.
seen the fucking Camry ads?
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
exciting ads.
Yes.
To have that
Camry,
with the third
Camry
pedal.
doesn't come with a man pedal.
No.
No, it doesn't.
But I imagine that this Corolla probably has 6 forward gears.
It does.
Is my guess.
Yes.
Does
you
it
can-
really?
Because
Yes, it does.
They are.
Subaru, up your fucking shit.
Don't you know, dude? CVTs are the jam.
Hey, man, Subaru's figured out the CVT thing. It is not the
It-
worst.
you know what? I know
it is not the worst
and
CVT.
Hey, I will attest
you've
to
driven-
this. I just drove 2 days ago, something like that. The new, I can't even think of the name of it. The
Crosstrek?
one with the 19 cup holders.
Oh,
Or
the
3-row thing.
Ascent.
The Ascent,
Yes.
yeah.
The Ascent, yes. I drove an Ascent with
Yeah.
that new 2.4 turbo motor
Yeah, that
and
thing
a
has balls.
CVT,
Yeah.
and it worked. The CVT
Interesting.
just kept it in boost the whole
Yeah.
time.
So the CVTs,
And it
from what
worked
I've
really
noticed,
well.
work with boosted cars better, like the Forester
Yeah.
XT, the WRX, not with the Crosstrek or like any
No.
of that shit.
No. Well, I mean,
I don't know.
Well,
I've
let's
driven
put
a normal Impreza with
Yeah,
a
I-
CVT. I've put some miles on
Yeah.
a standard Impreza
Yeah.
Sport.
Yeah.
my brother's
they work
Impreza-
well.
Yeah, my brother's Impreza is a CVT car, and it
Is
is not bad compared
Oh,
to the
really?
CVTs
I thought it was a
in.
manual.
Oh God, no, he can't.
Oh.
I'm
yeah,
the old-
it's Jason.
Yeah,
It's
no.
Okay, I
Yeah, the
mean,
boy-
the car is so base model, like it has hubcaps.
Yeah,
It's a tan interior. Like I figured the car still
has-
had a third pedal out of necessity.
no, it has Bluetooth,
Like mine.
but he refuses to use it.
Okay,
for
fair
reasons
enough.
I
What?
don't quite exactly.
He's young enough. He
I
should
don't-
know how to Bluetooth things.
Is he upset that it does not have a tape player?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, no, like that CVT is really good compared to the trash CVTs in my parents' Nissans.
Uh-huh.
That's funny because I think the CVT in the NV200 is actually paired kind of nicely with the with the engine. I
Yeah,
don't
when
know.
you don't
I
have
mean-
horsepower, everything feels great.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Damn,
I'm
Like-
just saying.
I mean, my
I'll outrun your
girlfriend's
shitbox, Dave.
Damn, my girlfriend's Sentra has a CVT, and that thing just feels. I mean,
Yeah,
I am not a fan of it.
Nissan has not figured it
No.
out.
Like it is just.
And I gotta say, on the original Rogue, I liked it on my wife's. The original Rogue, where it was
Yeah,
smaller.
Nismo?
I've heard
No.
hit and miss on the original Rogue with the CVT. I've heard a lot
I
of people
thought it
have
worked
issues,
well.
and some
It-
people just loved them, and they worked
The noise,
flawlessly.
I didn't like the noise, but I mean, it worked well. And you wouldn't think that that size SUV with like the least horsepower in the class
Mhm.
would be acceptable, and
Would
it
move.
worked. Yeah. So,
I gotcha.
Anyway.
Okay, well,
Fair
But
enough.
I'll throw another manual related story in there that is not on the agenda.
oh,
The cheapest manual transmission all-wheel drive vehicle that you could get this last year is now dead. The manual version of it.
what is that?
The Jeep Renegade.
Oh, that's right.
It
You
was
could-
the cheapest turbo manual vehicle you could buy with all-wheel drive.
that's right. It was a 500L Fiat, just rebadged.
yeah.
Yes.
Or
and-
redecorated,
and
rather.
lifted. But yes, they introduced a new motor, a 1.3-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that makes 17 more horsepower. So it's 177 horse, 200 pound-feet of torque, but it is all 9-speed auto.
I'm surprised
now.
it's not a 3-cylinder at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ford has bigger.
I'm kind
displacement
of surprised as
3-cylinders.
well, but I mean, it's good to see that. It's good to see that the Fiat Alpha motors are that have worked across the pond are now coming over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of nice to see that technology is making its way over here for once.
it's too bad that there's just one one less car, one fewer cars that you can buy with a manual gearbox.
But none of us here would have bought a
Yeah.
manual
no.
transmission.
Yeah, that's
running
the-
it to begin
they're
with.
I mean,
incredibly
those cars are-
overpriced, too.
Those cars are trash anyway. But like,
It's
the
like-
sentiment that there's one less. It doesn't matter which one it is. The fact that it's just the numbers are diminishing and diminishing and diminishing.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's claiming that chunky peanut butter is terrible, but you're allergic to peanuts, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's one of like I mean,
I
I'm
get
just
what
talking
you're
about
saying,
a big
Gavin.
picture.
I get what
I
Dave's
get-
saying.
I
I
Damn
get
it,
get what
what
Dave,
you're
you
saying.
Gavin's
dunce
saying.
motherfucker! Goddamn.
damn it,
Anyway.
man.
So let's talk about lawsuits,
you.
shall we?
How are
'Cause
So
there's
much shade is happening right now.
Yeah.
It is just
Yeah.
Man.
Before this turns into a lawsuit, let's talk about another lawsuit.
Hey-o.
Hey.
The SEC, they filed a lawsuit against Elon Musk over his infamous tweet.
Kel Surprise.
And the funny thing is, there was a lot of stories about this over the last week. The initial story was that he denied a settlement, and he said he was going to fight it. Because they wanted to remove him as CEO. And, well, they settled.
Yeah, they did.
And he will resign as chairman. However, he gets to keep the CEO designation.
Yep.
And he can't be reelected as chairman for 3 years.
Yes.
Both he and Tesla have to pay $20 million each, too, to the SEC.
Yep. So that is total of $40 million going to the SEC from the son of an emerald magnate and his slightly better than vaporware car company.
Yeah.
As Pizza Dad would like to call it, a Ponzi scheme.
Yes.
It's an expensive tweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, listen. Twitter is a thing.
Do you think this is going to push it to go private?
Oh, God, no. No. There's too much money out there for...
Yeah.
Of course.
No, so we actually had a discussion about this, Asian Mike and I did at lunch.
I was about to say, like, in the shenanigans chat, because that wasn't... in the Gamcast chat, because that wasn't much of a chat. It was more or less Dad just ranting.
Right. So the SEC is also implementing 2 people to kind of oversee Elon Musk.
Babysitters.
Yeah, basically babysitters.
And
Mike was just shocked by this. He was not aware that, basically the government could force you to make these changes in your company.
Yeah.
We explained insider trading laws and all that and why this is such a big deal. And basically we determined that we also need the government to step in and force these 2 same people to babysit Elon Musk to also babysit another person in the government that likes to tweet things that should get him in more trouble.
But
Gordon Ramsay? No!
How dare you? Well, so here's a funny thing in one of the stories that I read about this. So remember how he said it was going to go private for $420?
Yes.
That was a joke to impress his girlfriend, the musician Grimes.
Oh.
Yep. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Elon is making dad jokes to impress his girlfriend.
Doesn't the money do that? Doesn't the money impress the girlfriend?
I mean, you'd think that, but I mean...
And
I
the fact he's
figured,
building cars out of a tent?
I figured the private island would have been enough.
Right. And,
I mean,
the super weapon he's developing.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Flamethrower.
Hey, baby, I make a flamethrower from a company called The Boring Company.
Yes.
How you doing?
Babe, I shoot people into space. Space.
I also have a tunnel underneath my house.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, I don't quite understand what he's doing, but far be it for me to try and stop
He
him.
needs to get some sleep.
I mean,
what needs to happen.
Something. Well, he's going to have a whole lot more time on his hands now that he's got people, keeping him from tweeting.
I mean, that's true. I'm curious as to when he's going to step down from
well,
Tesla.
He will have to be forced out.
yeah, it's going to be so.
Yeah.
There is a fun thing. So on your favorite sports team, there is a guy who needs to have babysitters, and usually what happens is that dude's babysitter is somebody occupying one of the last roster spots.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Like, it is insane. So,
Did you see the stock went up?
Yep.
Yes.
Like up 18%.
Yeah,
Wow.
So he's
what's
not
funny
going
is
No.
this article says that the day after the SEC filed its suit, the stock sank 14%. And since the August 7 tweet, it has fallen 30%. But it is coming right back up.
Yep. There we go. Just
And-
on that whole hope of stability.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, and as Pizza Dad has mentioned, and Zach Turnage last week, he's not going to... Nothing else is going to happen to him.
no, this is it.
He's like any other CEO does this, and you're getting jail time. He doesn't. He does it. Nothing.
I mean-
relative.
He bought it out, $40 million.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like, yeah. Anyway, well, it's a rant I could get on, but oh well.
Well,
Money can absolutely buy you happiness.
yeah. Like,
Or in this particular instance, freedom.
Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't say happiness, but freedom. Sure. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, man.
For some sad news,
Yeah, unfortunately.
Jake Pasamato, known worldwide across the internet for not tightening his lugs
Yep.
and losing a wheel and subsequently launching a battery out of his bright yellow S14 drift car, has left the earth.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. They're saying it was suicide. We don't know.
Really hope that's not the case.
Nothing has
Same.
been confirmed at this point, but that
No.
is what everything is leading to.
Yeah.
Apparently had some demons he needed to deal with.
Yeah.
He was actually a really cool dude. I mean, he went to University of Utah. He spent some
Really?
time here in Utah about 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Really familiar with Wicknick, Stepdaddy Barnes.
Yeah, that was... when this kind of came across, one of the first things I saw was Barnes posted a picture of him with Jake, and, thanks for the good times, dude.
Yeah, right. And then he later posted a video up at Magic Valley Speedway in Twin Falls.
Yeah.
Chugging a beer, doing a burnout. Because that was where Barnes and Jake had met and started drifting. So
Yeah, and I think Blaze just posted a video of him chasing Jake around, I think, Pat's Acres or someplace.
yeah, I haven't seen that, but that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their demons that they need to deal with.
Yeah,
But these unfortunately got to Jake.
If that's a thing that's even crossing your mind, start talking to people like this. Just start telling people, "Hey, I'm having these thoughts."
Well, and
then
this goes both ways too.
Yeah.
We don't check on our friends until it's too late sometimes.
Yeah,
and
it's,
so
we
all need to be better people.
Yeah, it's as easy as just saying, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
Right, right, exactly. And Brandon Wicknick even said, we sometimes, all too often, we wait until it's too late to say the good things about people.
Yeah,
and so
that's very true.
We don't need to wait.
No,
if there's something you like about somebody, let them know.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate. It's pretty somber news.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate it happened.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So there's that. On
a slightly happier note?
I don't know if this is happier. I want to say it's crazier.
We'll go ahead. It is crazier for sure.
So a 97 U.S. spec Acura Integra Type R just set a auction record at the Barrett-Jackson auto auction by selling for $63,800.
Good Lord.
A beautiful car.
Yes.
Apparently another one sold for $58,000 from what I understand.
But
and I thought like air-cooled 911 prices were getting stupid, but this is just like nuts.
And yeah, and I was having this discussion with somebody the other day. I don't remember exactly who it was. But it's nuts, like, to think, what are you buying for 63.8 here? I mean, you're buying a damn nice example.
Yeah, it
dare
only
I
had
say a collector.
1,200 miles on it.
Right, exactly. I mean, as far as a functional vehicle, it is only just. I mean, with 1,200 miles, it's,
I mean, that's going to need...
It's
the gasket gets replaced.
It's 21 years old.
Fluids need to get flushed.
Right,
like,
exactly.
It's going to have to go through a gauntlet of, tests and procedures just to get it back to being what it should be.
Right. But, and we're looking at the collector side of this. How valuable are, driven Type Rs? How valuable are restored Type Rs or rebuilt Type Rs?
Or like lightly
how many
driven
of them,
with like 20,000 miles.
Right. I mean, how valuable are any of them? I mean, there aren't a lot of them, especially a 97 ITR. That was the year they sold the fewest of in the United States. You mostly see the 98 to 2000s.
Yeah.
2001, I'm sorry. Here in the U.S. Outside of the U.S., you get them as early as 95.
Gotcha.
And they were made in, I believe, larger quantities.
And this was a U.S. spec car?
This was a U.S. spec car.
Okay.
Yep.
100% original, championship white. As far as Integra owners and enthusiasts are concerned, it is the Integra. It is the car. Now, consider that it has, I think it still is referred to as the greatest handling front-wheel drive car of all time. And I agree. I mean, having owned an Integra myself, and our dear leader agrees from having his Integra for a while, those cars are amazing.
Yeah.
They are one of the best things that Honda has ever built.
They definitely were at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
and I even think they even into newer years, I'd say they are still really high up there. I mean, there have been a lot of progressions in technology and a lot of people putting out really cool.
The new Type R, for example, I mean that's also really up there.
The new Type R, I mean, it doesn't handle as well as its looks would indicate. It definitely is a little bit more boy racer than the original ITR was, or the CTR that we never got.
Yeah,
but. This was considered the Mecca. This was the car
This was the Holy Grail.
Yeah, this was the econo car with sports tuning that every other car company was aiming to build.
Yeah. This was the high watermark.
There's definitely a bit of clout there. There's a bit of, there's a bit of prestige with this.
$63,000?
It's one of those, like...
Well, let's be fair. I think our parents probably said the same thing when a GT350 made it over $100,000.
Yeah.
They're like, really? That Shelby Mustang?
Like, we are getting into the era where the people who wanted these cars...
It's all nostalgia.
Yeah, they couldn't afford it, but now they have the money and they can
new
swing
money
it
and
around.
nostalgia. And let's be fair, you would pay top dollar. Everybody's got their own niche of what they like and what they would spend ridiculous amounts of money on.
Yeah.
None of us in this basement, I think, would check a 1,200-mile ITR off on that list.
No.
But there are, I mean, we all would spend ridiculous amounts of money on something. This just happens to be somebody's something.
That's true.
Now, question for Gavin: would you spend $150,000 on a 930 turbo?
If I had the money to, first of all, two very different types of car that we're talking about.
The collector side of this is exactly the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure, but I'd rather peg that again, like $63,000. What is that in air-cooled 911 money? That could easily be that's a low miles 964. That's a moderate to low miles 993.
Well, let's compare.
I feel like you're getting way more car there than you would in the Type R.
No, I'm asking
car aside, it's all collector value at this point.
Sure,
Because
I also think that's an unfair question, though.
You're
trying to put me in a spot.
A driver quality ITR is going to pull you $10,000 to $15,000.
Yeah.
A driver quality 964 is going to put you where?
40 plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see the difference in those two markets, right?
Yeah, they're very different.
Right.
I understand that.
Right. So $150 for an otherwise $40,000 to $50,000 car is not that unheard of when you're comparing 68 to
20.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
See where I'm going with that?
Yeah, but I'm price matching with this very specific Type R that we're talking about.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
With price matching that with a 911, and what do you get there?
Well,
okay. Well, now
I would
that's
$63,000
totally different question.
in Porsche money gets
Dave's
you way
got it.
more car.
Yeah, but then there are a lot of people who, like, you love Porsches. Like, you have a connection. I like Porsches,
but you love Integras.
Exactly.
Or you love Hondas.
Yeah, so it's like you would be dropping.
I understand that.
So I mean, this was two dudes on the internet.
I objectively completely understand what everyone is talking about. I disagree with your proposition.
I think you get it. You just don't realize it.
No, I get it. I just don't agree with it.
Anyway, so
it'll come to you later tonight.
Let's talk about something we can all agree on. Not really. It was just a segue.
There we go.
Infiniti has come out with an F1 inspired vehicle. So it's called the Q60 Project Black S. And they actually launched it at the 2017 Geneva Motor Show as a concept. But they basically said nothing about it. They just said, here's an F1 inspired car. Look, it's awesome. And we'll tell you more later. And now is later.
It looks cool.
It does look cool. So it is based on the Q60 Red Sport 400. However, they have added a trio
Everything you said after Q60 is functionally meaningless to me. What the hell does that mean?
400 horsepower, fast.
Okay.
M version.
Twin
of
turbo V6.
AMG version.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so it
Alphabet
takes
soup.
it takes
Yeah.
their top tier
Words.
Q60, and then they add a trio of motor generator units to create an F1 style KERS system that adds another 160 horsepower.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's practically an Integra.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh,
Way to incorporate that.
Yeah.
attaboy. We call that a callback.
Yeah.
And Dave definitely makes a pass to Zach over the
For
table.
the touchdown.
Brilliant.
Anybody else?
I probably had enough already.
Water.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's good to actually have some information on this vehicle now, because it looks awesome, but it actually has a electrical anti-lag system to spin up the turbos before hitting the throttle again to provide maximum boost immediately. But then it's all it runs through the standard 7-speed auto that it has, but it goes out to a mechanical limited slip.
Attaboys.
Perfect for once.
Yeah,
A
there we
company
go.
not leaning into
exactly.
ABS
not,
for this.
Not electronic.
That's nice. Thank you, Infinity. Thank you,
So
Nissan.
the powertrain, it generates electricity both on acceleration and deceleration.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then it has 3 different modes, which are, you gotta look at the pictures. They're like F1 inspired little switches in the center console. They have the different modes: road, quali, as in qualifying, and race. So qualifying is the most aggressive because it uses up as much electrical energy as possible, so you can go the fastest possible. And then race actually preserves the energy so that you can use it on demand whenever you want. But their system is 440 pounds heavier than the standard Red Sport 400. So they added carbon fiber roof, fenders, hood, took out the rear seats, put the battery there, carbon fiber seats.
Yeah, this rear seat blank is actually really attractive.
Yeah.
I like this.
And
the interior is still really well finished in this car.
And it's actually only, even though it's a 440-pound powertrain addition in weight, overall it's only 53 pounds heavier than the Red Sport 400.
Nice.
But they've moved the weight backwards, so instead of being 58-42 split, it is now a 50-50 split.
Oh, really?
Okay,
Fancy.
so on one hand, yes, the 370Z is a 10-year-old car. But thank God for Nissan and Infinity for actually making something new and totally kick-ass.
Well, yeah, they're Infinity's doing it with their new 3-liter twin-turbo V6, but
Same.
Nissan still has the 3.7 NA, which we will talk a bit about next episode, thanks to
But I'm definitely
formerly
getting
Evil Trent.
Aston Martin vibes.
I would
Yeah.
love to see this all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I mean, I feel like that would be like the birth of what could essentially be a hybrid GTR.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Which could play well with what the other supercar manufacturers are doing right now, playing with all the hybrid assists and such. Feel like that's a pretty good. That could be a pretty good segue, Nissan.
That could
wink,
be.
wink, nudge, nudge, shove, shove.
Yeah.
Now, granted, there's no price, and it is still technically a concept, but they actually have things figured out this time around.
Right.
But given the price is right, I would plunk my own money down for one of these. It's a
Beautiful car. It's got a fantastic roster as far as the performance and drivetrain is concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we actually have another F1 inspired vehicle we need to talk about, the AMG one.
Formerly known as the AMG Project One.
Correct.
So it's getting a little less creative in the nameplate.
See, I don't think it's less creative. I think it's not a project anymore. It's an actual car.
It's the AMG ONE.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Sorry.
No, I'm probably totally wrong,
No.
but I'm going to
I
call
was
it the
gonna
ONE.
say, I've never heard of a Mercedes owner say, "Oh yes, I have an E63 AMG
You got to talk
or
to
an
the right.
E55 AMG."
You need to find the right pretentious douchebag.
I mean, he probably also owns a Citroen.
Yes.
But he also probably says 2CV instead of 2 chevaux.
Probably. He understands it's French, but he doesn't understand a lick of French whatsoever.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this the AMG Project 1 is now basically more official, even though it was never really that well hidden. But it takes the 1.6-liter V6 from their F1 team, adds a 120 kilowatt electric motor, produces more than 1,000 horsepower, and here's the crazy number: 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in 6 seconds.
That's 125 for those of you paying
Yeah,
That's
so,
actually not even the craziest fact, though.
No, hold on.
No,
we
it's
need
not.
to put some perspective. A 600 LT or a Lamborghini Performante or a 488 Pista Ferrari will do it in about 8.2. So this is 2.2 seconds quicker to 200 kilometers an hour.
The joys of strapping blenders to your axles, kids.
Yeah.
Fire up them Blendtex.
Something that I found really more fascinating, though, it creates half of its own weight in downforce. Or can.
Yeah, that is...
This is one of those cars
So
that...
it'll weigh 150% at full speed. At
Right,
maximum
this is
attack.
one of those cars that you can get on a pretty decent angle and it'll still stay stuck to the wall.
This is one of those
Yeah.
things, like, there was rumor that Roger Penske had a very illegal tunnel somewhere in, I think, Pennsylvania, that he would just run his Indy cars at full, trim.
Max attack, yeah.
Exactly. And, it was basically, a low-tech wind tunnel. But there was rumor, a lot of the test drivers say, oh, yeah, no, these cars, we could stick them to the roof.
Right, exactly.
At speed,
Right.
That's
I
part of the
don't-
thing with the Gumpert Apollo, wasn't it?
I think so. It would, yeah.
That's kind of its thing. It made that much downforce
Yeah.
for a street car that you could do that. But yeah, I mean, so while we're talking about weight, it should weigh in between 2,800 and 3,000 pounds. So imagine
Which is nuts.
1,500 pounds of downforce.
Something like that. Just a little bit.
Just a little something.
But you can't afford one.
Nope.
I can safely say that with our...
You don't know me and my finances.
It's $2.7 million.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. I can't
Yeah.
afford it.
Well, Mr. Shadowy Billionaire, I think you're going to have to sell an island or two in order to get one of these.
Yeah, settle down there, young buck. I mean, we're all in the same boat.
I mean, you're real gung-ho about some things, but
We're
financial acuity is not one of them.
Being able to throw down 2.7 mil.
we're all down here trying to rub two pennies together to get a dime.
Not only
Yeah.
that, let's say you have the 2.7 mil, you still have to be one of the 275 that were selected for this vehicle.
And they're probably all spoken for, so
Yeah.
who gives a shit?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, if you had that kind of money and the kind of,
Contacts.
for, Mercedes to just be like, hey, do you want this?
Hi, you've
I
been
mean,
such a good customer. Here's
you're
the thing.
you're probably not the guy that's like, I think I'm good.
Yeah,
Pass.
Yeah.
Let's see, I've bought every
Our
AMG product that you've ever put out.
Right, exactly.
I am the
Nah,
list,
I don't want
damn
this
it.
one.
It's like, I don't know, man.
The
You
Sterling
guys,
Moss, the 722.
Oh,
you
the
know.
Sterling Moss.
Yeah, this
Oof.
is not...
Oof.
I don't know. You guys really shortchanged me on that last oil change with my wife's 6x6. I don't know if I'm going to jump on this.
Yeah,
one. No,
this
I'm
is...
not.
No. She still drives an ML350.
Of
all
course
right?
she does.
Yeah. No, to be...
No,
on-
the
It doesn't
M-
matter how rich
the
you
M-
are, she still gets an ML350.
Yeah. And, these are, to be on that list, this is not you get free tickets to whatever golf tournament Mercedes is sponsoring. This is...
Pebble.
No. This is no. We're going to go ahead and fly you somewhere, and, hey, do you want to test in an F2 car? I mean, we got one just laying around.
Right, exactly.
It's test it. See if you want to own part of the team. Whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So, that's a nutty car.
That it is.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
pretty much it for
We're-
the news.
No, we've got
Oh, okay.
one more that
We can just shoehorn this in real
is
quick.
shocking.
People are idiots.
Absolutely shocking. I do not understand
This
how
is exactly
been-
why autopilot failed.
Yep. And it is because of the sack of meat behind the driver's seat. behind the
Exactly.
driver- in the wheel.
AAA did a study and found that drivers over-rely on their safety equipment tech.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Surprise of nobody.
I could have knocked me over with a
So-
sledgehammer.
80% of drivers unaware of blind spot monitoring's limitations. So, here's the thing. Blind spot monitoring detects vehicles. people assume it detects everything.
No.
And
So-
it does not. You
No.
can stand in the blind spot of a vehicle,
Yeah.
and it will not pick you up.
So
Nope.
they assume that it picks up bikers. They assume, and some systems
Some systems
occasionally
do.
Yeah.
but they assume it picks up everything. So they see, oh, there's no light on. I'm not even going to look. I'm just gonna
Go.
go.
Right. They don't care about what's in the mirror. They just look for the little yellow
Right.
light.
They don't understand
Yeah.
that
Right.
cars could be approaching at a rapid speed in the next lane.
Exactly.
and
Turning
it
left
won't
from the
be
right
picked-
lane.
Ah!
We'll get there. Don't worry. 40% didn't understand the forward collision warning system.
I'm going to blame the commercials for
Yeah.
a lot of that, though.
Yeah.
You know, where they're driving along this shitty forest road, just happy,
And a deer
then
jumps
dump,
out?
Well, a dump truck is like stopped with a downed tree in front of it, and the car stops miraculously inches away from the tailgate of this dump truck.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "Oh my goodness!"
Thank
Or-
you,
So glad
Mercedes.
I'm so glad I bought this new ML350 with the
Yeah.
forward collision avoidance technology.
Or it's like the 74 Winnebago where there's a meth lab just humming along in the back. It slams to a stop. The shitty Kia Rio tailgating it slams to a stop, and then you not paying attention in your Infinity or whatever. It slams to a stop.
Oh.
And then, oh, thank God. Our Infinity saved us. No, that's not how it's working in real
No.
life. Are you kidding me?
absolutely not.
So
You are getting
yeah,
a $20 bumper
a lot of these
in your
systems.
car.
A lot of these systems are warning systems.
Yeah.
So there
Warnings.
are exactly.
They tell you about things.
Telling you to pay attention
Yes.
when you should already be paying attention.
And people confuse them with automatic emergency braking systems. And here's the great fact: 17% of those people who had the technology on their vehicle weren't even sure if it was the forward collision warning or the automatic emergency braking. So not only do you have the people misunderstanding what forward collision warning is, there's people that
There's
own
people
it
that
don't
bought
even
it
know what it is
and don't know.
Yeah. But the good news is, 25% of those people that have this,
Is this good news?
yeah, exactly. They felt more comfortable engaging in other activities in their vehicle while driving because they have these systems, even though they don't understand
Oh,
them
well,
and
it's going to
rely on
tell me if I'm going to hit something.
Right.
So I'm just going to go
Right?
ahead and send this tweet. Hey, guys, check this out. I'm going private. Oh, wait.
them. Wow.
Thunk.
Savage.
Damn.
Anywho,
Well,
on that note of savagery,
that is it.
it's time for us to go ahead and bring this bad boy into port before we finish filling it with water.
Thank God.
And we're only a little bit long on time. I think
That's
we're
all
only
right.
maybe like 8 or 9 minutes over.
That's fine.
We can make that work.
It's
Thank-
true.
yeah.
It's true. So,
You can sit in your car in the parking lot before work for a little bit longer.
right, exactly. Your boss is not going to get that mad. Come on, let's be real. You don't even like your job anyway.
Yeah. You're like me. You're spending a lot of time instead of work and looking for a new gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah,
So, hey, we do this every week. It's twice a week for you guys. So please be sure to like us and share us around, because if you like this stuff, chances are you know people that like the same stuff.
Yeah.
We're at CamAutoMag on all the social medias.
Yeah.
CamAutomag.com, CamAutoswag.com.
Yep.
You can support us that way.
Yep.
You can get us wherever you get your podcast feeds. We're on Apple Play, Google Play, Apple
podcast.
yeah, exactly.
Spotify. Shout out to Finland for listening to us on Spotify.
Hey,
What?
awesome.
Indeed.
Awesome. So, you can hit us up, mailbag at camautomag.com.
Please, somebody other than formerly Evil Trent.
Exactly. Yeah,
You
write
can
us,
still
guys.
you can still write us, formerly Evil Trent. but
Absolutely. You can also slide
more.
into our DMs. Like I said, at camautomag.
Yep.
All of them.
We out there.
Exactly. We like to hear from you guys. That's
Yeah.
why we post questions every week. So definitely hit us up.
Yeah.
So, anywho, another shout out to our main sponsor, Steady Broke Clothing. Please be sure to support them because they support us.
Yep.
SteadyBroke.com, steady.broke on all social medias.
There we
And
go.
Definitely buy something and make sure you don't forget the CamAuto15 discount code.
Yep.
And if you'd like to join us for a less of a train wreck episode, join us on Thursday where we will talk more with Austin Kent.
Yep.
Exactly. Thank you, Austin, for being here.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Zach, for joining in and
Hanging out.
hanging
You know,
out in the background.
Attaboy.
You guys can be cool like Zach We're going to be talking with you guys soon about our Patreon stuff.
Yeah, in the next couple weeks, we'll have this whole thing hammered
We're
out.
going to figure it out. We're working on it.
Well,
if in the meantime you want to come and chill, we'll have the tip jar out. You can definitely come and hang out.
Oh, no, there's no tip jar. There's a cover charge.
Okay, well, here's the
walk in
thing.
the door without $20.
Okay, so you need to put $20 in the tip jar, and then we can let you inside.
I will stand on my front porch with a velvet rope saying the house is full.
He will do it. I have seen him do it.
Damn.
Anyway.
All right, guys. So let's wrap it up.
Anyway, I have been Mike, who has just dropped my notebook. God damn it.
I've been Gavin.
I've been Daddy Rads.
I've been Trent.
I'm just Austin.
Attaboy.
Still.
Oh, you're more than that.
Yes, you are.
Don't sell yourself short.
Oh, God damn it.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
God damn it.
I'm sorry, Dave.